Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Carla. Today I'm going to be sharing with you blueprinting processes. Can you hear those guinea pigs? We have a house full of guinea pigs at the moment. So this is what I'm going to be teaching you to make today. It's a photogram in the fashion of a blueprint. We're going to be cutting out some small little shapes and adding them on top of our light sensitive paper along with some plant materials to make beautiful scenes. So if you haven't already got yourself a kit, you can whiz on over to the link below to join in with this activity. And what you get in the kit is however many pieces of light sensitive paper that you like that I've hand torn and treated. Each one comes with a beautiful white border and all of them look really stunning once you bring them together with whatever plants you like or whatever fashion you like. This one here I used some skeleton leaves, and this one here I've turned into a card. So there's lots of different ways that you can utilize these little pieces of paper to make little gifts, because Christmas is just around the corner and the gift can be the kit alone. So one of the things that you might like to do with your kit, you might like to tear up your pages into smaller pieces and expose them for different periods of time. So this one was in the sun for about 20 minutes and this one was in the sun for about 3 minutes. So depending on the different shades that appeal to you most, you can get a variant of the blue, and it's fun to experiment if you make the little tickets and expose them at different times to give you an indication of what times do what. And actually these little pieces, they make great little note cards and swing tags and gift cards, and they're also really great in scrapbooking. So I'm going to get to it. I'm going to set myself up and I'm going to show you how to make these awesome nature scenes.
So here I have my blueprinting kit, and today I'm going to make a couple of different images. We're going to make some just with some plants. Here are some cards that I've made previously. So these little prints are the perfect size to fit on the front of gift cards or to pop in a frame. So with each kit you'll get some instructions. It's really important to note that this is light sensitive paper and each sheet is being treated and you don't want to expose it when you're in the sunlight. So please make sure that you only open your packaging when you are in a dimly lit space. So we're going to take our first sheet and place it on our kit, and this will just help to hold it flat and that way our paper won't flop about. And I'm just going to choose a piece of bracken fern, and what else have I got? I've got this pretty little autumn leaf that makes a great shape, and I'm just going to place them just in a little arrangement just to give you an example of the effects that you can get with these kits. So please do not discard of your little cellophane bag, because this is going to help us to hold our plants in place. Alternatively, you can source a piece of glass from a picture frame and pop it back in your picture once you've finished borrowing it. Also make sure you have a parent help you with this, but hopefully you can manage to make it work without, you can just grab your bag and open it up like this, slide your sheet in, and if you can get it in there with the sticky side facing down. So what you can do, you can actually wrap the sticky side of the cellophane around, and that'll help to hold it in place. I like to add a couple of other things to help hold it in place too. You can use a rock on the corner where the paper's not using its exposed part, or you can just use a couple of pegs. So here I've just got a couple of tiny craft pegs that I had in the studio. You might have a peg on the clothesline you could borrow for this project. Anything that you can think of to just help to create a contact with our plants and our paper. So the closer that we can get them sitting together, the stronger our print. For this next step, you're going to need some brown cardstock, a grey lead and some scissors. We're going to cut out some little shapes to add to our nature prints and turn them into something else. So here I'm going to create a little underwater scene with some fishies and a bit of fern, and I think that it's a really nice way to make a forest scene as well, just by adding a moon in there. Now if you wanted to add some more details you could add stars, but I'm just going to keep it simple. And then once they're done, I'm going to cover them with a nice heavy piece of glass from a picture frame. Now, please, children, make sure that you get your parents to help you with this step, as it can be dangerous. But the great thing about using the glasses is that the plants stay really nice and secure and firm in place. So now we're going to expose them outside in the full sun. It's really important that you do this during the middle of the day, not in the afternoon or the morning, because the UV index isn't strong enough to create our prints. Now, once you've exposed them, you can tell when they're done because the color changes. And when the color changes, then it's time to bring them in. I like to cover them before I bring them in just to make sure that we don't get any movement of the plants interrupting with our print. So you can see that color there. It's quite a taupe color, and it's transformed now from that light green that it was before. So you can tell that this print is done and it's ready to be brought inside. Also, a great way to do things is you can definitely tear one of your pieces into swatches and test what each color develops at different times. So you could put one out for 5 minutes, one out for 10 minutes, one out for 20, something like that, to give yourself an indication of what different color blues you can achieve. So it's really important at this stage that you make sure you thoroughly wash your paper. The paper is really sturdy. It's not going to fall apart in the water, so you don't need to worry about that. But it's really important as well that you don't rub the image. If you try to wash it off with using your fingers print to create, you're going to damage the image. So we don't want to rub the paper, just gently push them through and aerate them and make sure that they get really agitated in the water so that we can rinse off excess developer. So this is just straight up water. We're going to keep the water running, and you might see here in my moon how it's still a little bit yellow. Now that's what we don't want. We want to keep rinsing that until the yellow is completely gone, because if that was to come outside again into the sun, those areas would go blue and you would lose that beautiful contrast of white and blue. So it's important to not skip this step and to make sure you thoroughly wash them. So another little addition that you can add to your steps here if you like, I'll do it for you today so that you can see the difference, but I like to add a few drops of hydrogen peroxide into the water. Now this just helps the blue to develop rapidly. If I didn't put the hydrogen peroxide in, it would take 24 hours for the blues to develop to their darkest hue. So I'll put a couple of drops in a moment just so you can see that difference. Now that all that yellow is gone, you can see that's really nice and strong with the white contrasting with the blue. So these are pretty much fully rinsed. We can keep them agitating in the water for a little bit longer. And I'm really happy with these results. They look so beautiful together. It's really pleasing to the eye to see the blue and the white. It reminds me of willow pattern china. So here's the hydrogen peroxide. I'm just going to add 2 to 3 drops in. I have got quite a bit of water here, so that might not be enough. It's about 1/4 teaspoon, and you can see straight away how that blue gets darker on the prints there. So that really helps you to get a good indication of what your blues are going to develop to over the 24-hour period of drying and curing. You may find when you dry your prints that the paper curls, but don't worry about that. You can just press them in a book to flatten them out, or you can even iron them. It's not a problem at all. You can fix that quite easily. So it's important that they dry inside in the shade, and that you don't dry them in the sun. And then when they're dry, you can create your little art projects with them. You can stick them on the wall. You can make a nice frame. You can give it as gifts. You can create cards. Whatever you wish. It's just a really fun activity to do. So I really hope you've enjoyed this project and you get lots of fun out of making these blueprints and exploring the details of all the plants. And I hope that your mind fizzes and bubbles with all the possibilities and ideas that you can think of creating with these little photogram projects. So thanks a lot for making along with us, and tune in next time. Who knows what we'll be making next time.
Thanks so much for tuning in and watching, guys. I hope you found this tutorial fun and helpful. I look forward to seeing you next time. So click the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next episode. See you guys.
Bye.